an ex-neighbor,
Yeah.
and she's going to tell us all sorts of interesting things. Gina, the floor is yours.
Hi, you guys. And let me tell you something. I'm very informal. Feel free to ask questions, speak back to me, talk back. I like to have a conversation. So if you want to write notes, you can. You want to ask me something, say, hey, lady. Or you can just say, Miss Gina. I'm a Southern girl. I'm always talking Ms. and Mr. So don't think that's a weird thing. So how can I begin this story? So Gina Neely. You guys probably wouldn't know me from my former background, which is a financial background. Started at NBC Bank. It was over 3 branches. My husband, ex-husband now. Yay! Oh, you happier than me, really? Oh, okay. My ex-husband who owned a business, Neely's Barbecue, which Neely's Barbecue is an institute in this town. I really believe that. It could have been, let me think that way. Had been around for a long, long time, generational. His uncle owned Interstate Barbecue, and then they decided to branch out and form their own business. I wanted to be the supportive wife that we often don't get to see and do things differently and go in and support the business. So I was able to go in and provide a female perspective on how to do business. Men are sort of, you know, black and white, one-dimensional, but when you add in some color, like my pants, you make things light, you make people enjoy themselves, you make it pretty, you make the atmosphere. Because you think about food, food is really about feeling good when you're eating it, you want to be in a great environment, and you want a nice atmosphere. We don't want just this. Like, what would you even serve here? I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I need some stuff going on. It needs to be pretty. So when you think about when you want to branch out into businesses, how can I make my business different from everybody else's? So when I got there, they were very, I guess, mom and pop-ish sort of an organization. But by me having a corporate background, I wanted to see how I could make things differently. And that's sort of when I started incorporating the catering department. So the catering department is like a department we have where you go out and cater food. My first idea was to actually go to the Memphis Conventions Business Bureau where Bubba worked. I'm sorry, Mr. Ron worked. I don't want to call you Bubba, I'm sorry. I've only known him as Bubba all my life, so if I say Bubba, forgive me.
Gina and I go way
Don't
back.
y'all call him Bubba though, I don't want to get you guys in trouble. And I came up with this whole idea of an all-inclusive package, meaning you could have a choice of 3 things, everything included in a certain timeline, certain price, taxes and gratuity already added, like a tour group, and then move to the next step, the next destination, all in a timely fashion, which is also another way of introducing people to other parts of Memphis, the Sun Museum, Graceland, the Civil Rights Museum. So we wanted to kind of keep it in a family-oriented environment. So that was one idea that I had that no one could believe would work, and it absolutely was a great idea. The second idea that I sort of came up with, people find kind of weird, was a bereavement package. Bereavement, what's that? Death, right. And people are oftentimes, when we think about death, sad, they don't really know what they feel, they're all over the place. So most times everybody flock to you when someone passes away. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, and everybody's in your face. But 2 weeks later, who's called, who's checked on you? Nobody. So what I would do is have a barbecue dinner delivered to that particular person with a note card saying, we're still thinking about you. We're still in our prayers. We love you and want you to be fine. And here's a great barbecue meal to help you get through the night. So just little ideas like that is what you want to think about if you think about going into business for yourself. So, okay, that was working out well. And then one day, Paula Dean's sons approached us because they had a show called Road Tasted with the Dean Brothers. Familiar with them? Bobby and Jamie Dean? Yep. Did y'all look at Food Network? This enthusiasm is killing me. We look at it, girl. Okay. So Bobby and Jamie Dean had their own show called Road Tasted. It was a show that was designed to ship a product. So we shipped our barbecue sauce all over the states. So that's how we got aboard. So when they came to Memphis, which we thought they were coming to Memphis, but instead they were going to Nashville. So we decided we were going to go to Nashville. And I said, I had a trip planned, a girls' trip. One was all ladies. Listen, always keep yourself a girls' trip in the back of your mind. Take time for yourself. Very, very important. You'll thank me later. You go, that little black lady told me that. I remember that. You remember that. I'm telling you. A girls' trip is a great thing. So I had a girls' trip planned every year. But it just so happened it was around the same time. So I said, okay, I'll forfeit my trip. Because, men don't think about details. Beautiful place. We don't want this sitting on the table when company comes. So we don't want that. We want cute glass with ice, all that good stuff. So that's where the woman comes in, the detail girl. So I came in, set everything up beautifully. Now I'm just cutting up, acting a fool. I'm not even on camera. I'm just there being my fun-loving, mess with everybody's self. And this is the important thing in life. You never know who's watching you. Very, very true. And it's got me in trouble many, many times that I hate to share. But I'm not going to share. I'm going to share the good part of it because I just believe in being yourself. You know, God gives us all gifts, and it's up to us to sort of feel comfortable in those gifts, manifest those gifts, and let those gifts grow. There is no I in team, but there is an I in the gift. Remember that. There's an I in the gift, and you want to concentrate on your gift. So I was just laughing and joking and playing. Pat was on camera. I wasn't even on camera. I'm just talking. So at the end of the taping, this man comes over and he goes, "Here's my card, call me." And I said, "Oh, you're going to let us know when the show airs? That's great, fantastic." So, no big deal. But he calls us. That was shocking because people have lied to you before. So I'll make you feel good. I want you to feel like you waste your time and give your food away. Make you feel good before we leave, so we'll give you a card. So actually he called with this partner, Gordon Elliott. Who's familiar with Gordon Elliott? I wasn't either, so don't worry about it. Okay. He's like an old school guy. Like he did door knockers and dives, very old in the business. But he had formed a production company called Follow Productions, which is a great thing because he is accustomed to being in front of the camera and behind the camera. That's always a great gift and a great blessing because you can understand it from both perspectives. So he called and he said, "I would love to sit down with the whole family." So it was the Neelys, Mama, the brothers, my ex-husband, and then there was Gina. Okay, so we're all sitting down. He said, "You know, you guys have an amazing chemistry. You are high school sweethearts. You have this beautiful story. You're in love. Everything is fantastic. We would love to do a TV show." I said, "With who?" He said, "With you guys." I said, "TV? No radio? Something a little more low-key? Not trying to be seen, didn't want my face everywhere?" And he was like, "No, but here's the thing. We can't do the show without Gina." So what did that do for me?
Made you feel good.
No, created a burden for me. Because A, I didn't want to do TV, remember? Mm-hmm. But everybody was like, "Woo! Yeah! We gonna get a show. We gonna get a show. Oh. Having a great time." And I'm like, not so much for me. And then I said, "Well, why don't we just think about that?" He was like, "What is there to think about? You know, this would be great for the business. We can go here, we can go there." And I was like, I'm really okay in this space. It really works for me. I love Memphis. We're known enough. I'm having a good time right here. I don't really want to add this extra layer. So we said, well, let's just try it one time. Took us out to meet Paula Deen. Now, Paula Deen was huge at this time. I mean, but I was so shocked when this lady was smoking a Virginia Slim cigarette. If that, I mean, out of all the old, because you see her as your grandma, like grandma in the kitchen. So it's like me seeing my grandma standing there baking a cake. So what are you trying to do? No, Paula, that visual is not working for me. But what they were trying to do was get us comfortable in front of the camera. So me and Paula, we just cutting up, talking, S-H-I-T. I mean, shit, you think I talk bad? Oh, that woman has some old school stuff that I can't even roll with. So she was laughing and cracking jokes, and the whole time, I don't even know they're filming us. They're actually putting a reel together. A sizzle reel is what you use to present to a production company when you're trying to sell your show idea. So they want to see you almost in that element of how you will be on camera. You can't just say, she has a great personality and she really translates that. They actually need to see it in action. So that's where a sizzle reel comes in for those who've ever thinking about going into TV. You have to have that part as they won't really look at you. So I didn't know they were doing that. And sure enough, the Food Network thought it was an amazing idea and they wanted to buy into it. So it took a year to do the deal. You know why? Because I went and signed the papers. And so the president of the Food Network, a little short guy about this tall named Bob Tushman, he wanted to know what the holdup was. How dare she hold up my production? Who is this little heifer? Well, he came down, we're at Earl and Justice restaurant, very nice restaurant, and he said, I just want to meet you face to face. And I said, well, here you have it. It's me. I'm looking down like, it's me, back here, right here. They had heels, he was short. And we were laughing and talking. He said, what's the problem? I said, ain't nobody trying to be on no damn TV. I had already had 3 Cosmos. Big mistake. Don't drink before a business meeting. But when I said that, he was like, oh, see, that's what I love about you. You're so yourself. You have this great big personality, and we need that on TV. And I was like, yeah, not so much once again. So I had to talk to my pastor about it and my mentor. I talked to everybody. My girls, for one, I had 2 daughters at the time. I still have 2 daughters, like they're gone. But they're just away. I'm empty nested. So you know you would get empty nested, you just kind of forget about y'all. We do know that, right? Your parents are not thinking about you.
Yes.
Right. You're empty nested. Yes. We're free. We're like runaway slaves. We passed Harriet Tubman. We're gone. We're out of there. So my girls in Dallas and one is in Nashville, by the way, 23 and 29. I'm 52, no problem with that. Alrighty, so I said, I just don't know. And Gordon was so good at making me feel comfortable. So we did a show with Paula, a big night, and it was a great show. And I cut my finger the first night, trying to cut ribs. Here's the thing. They did barbecue. I did the selling. I wasn't the rib girl. But Paula didn't know that, no one knew that. So she was like, cut that, and I cut it wrong. On national TV. She couldn't let that happen. Then when I cut it, I caught my thumb. So I took the little hand towel, rolled it, and I wrapped my tongue up, and I just leaned like this. And she's like, well, you know you're doing everything in one hand. I said, how you do that? You go ahead and get that for Paula. Because I'm bleeding, like the whole towel is now full of blood. And no one knows, and it's a live audience. So no one can see that because you don't want to see blood and food together. That's just a huge no-no. So we get through taping, and I go to my producer and said, can you go to the ladies' room with me, please? And she was sure. So I go in there, she go, oh shit, what happened to you? And she was like, we need an ambulance. I said, no, we don't need an ambulance. I really think it's just a bad cut, and we can put a little pressure on it, get some bandage, I'll be good. And people are looking like, and then Gordon Elliott said to me then, I knew right then you would be a star. Because I cut myself? Because I'm in pain? That means I'm going to be a star? But in their mind, they were looking at the fact that here she is bleeding and not over, because the average person would be like, oh God, I'm bleeding, help! And that would have ruined the whole show because it's a live taping. When things are taped live, you can't go back. What you see happens, like the Victoria's Secret model that fell. Y'all see that? Me and y'all look at Victoria's Secret model content? You saw that. I get a reaction at the front row finally. I saw that. But they, you know what? That show was like, they could have really edited that out, which I felt like they did because that was her country. And she was sort of representing that. But that piece was so heavy. Did you see when she fell? It was like she was trying to pick it up, and that piece just wouldn't let her. Because they're only like maybe, 5 pounds? I mean, that's what they weigh, wet. And the piece probably was 10. But they really could have edited that out, but they chose not to. I say all that to say that when you do things live and living color, that is what you get. So, okay, so we move on. I'm thinking we do our show. We rented a house, like I think it was on Barton Street. Didn't know what to expect, so we did. I said, we'll do this show one time, and then we'll go back to our regular lives, and everything would just be fantastic. I can get back to being a cheer mom. I can get back to minding my own business, having my mimosas and Cosmos, and minding my business. But what happens? It is the highest rated TV show in Food Network history. Now, why would they do that?
I don't know.
I know. I was thinking. Then the train just, I know my shoes were back there, my shirt, but the train just took off. And all I could do was just really hold on. But I was so, I cannot tell you guys, how, if I wanted TV, that would have been amazing, great news. But because I didn't, it was the most saddest day of my life. And I cried for 6 months. Literally cried. My girls hated it, so I felt guilty about that. I was a cheer mom. I did everything with them. I'm just trying to get along here. I'm just trying to go with the flow. So we got ready to tape in our own house. I was in the pantry just like this. Oh God, oh God. So they said, action. And I said, just stayed in the pantry. I said, Jesus, Lord, you know, we've had many conversations like this. You got to deliver me out of this. I don't have to do it. But I'm just asking you, remove me, Lord. Just like I could do a bewitched, and he could just take me away. Right. So Gordon came in and he's like, Gina, baby. He's so sweet. Gina, baby, what's wrong with my love? I said, I think it's that action word. Can we say go, a star? but that whole action thing is just making me feel some kind of way. He said, okay, fine, okay, you stay here, I'm gonna tell her. So we go out and he said, just say go for her. She needs a minute. So I go back in the pantry, because I always got the pantry. Hi, welcome today, and I start the show. No script, I just free flowed every day, just like I'm doing now, because I didn't have a speech ready, as you can tell. I just thought I would share my story with you authentically. Authentic, say it. I struggle with that word. Authentic. You struggle with it too. So we don't need two of us together like that. We want to be authentic. There we go. Look. Give me some. Right. Okay. So it was just, I couldn't put it together. And it was so crazy because I would be like I am now, comfortable. But the minute I came out, I would go in the kitchen and cry. I would cry anywhere I could cry, and they just pat my little face down, put makeup on me, and push you back out the camera. So I started looking at the camera guy, like at his eyes, not down the pipe, trying to make, you want to just make friends and feel comfortable with a person. And they kept saying, well, is she cross-eyed? It looked like she looking this, so my eyes are like doing this. Like, wait, she's not looking down the pipe of a camera. So when you do something, you have to look like if I was looking, just look just straight down the pipe, like straight down. And I just could not do that just for fear of it. And sure enough, that was when like social media was getting started. The first show was a hit, and then we just took off. And then here comes beautiful social media. I can't stand her voice. She make me sick. She bossy. She talk too much. I was like, oh my God, they hate me. I cried about that. So Gordon said, Gina, you just stay on the shopping and handbags website. Don't venture off into those lands. Don't look at blogs. Don't look at anything. Just shop. That's all you do. We just need you to shop and have a good time. So it's just all those psychological things that I needed to overcome my fear. Because if I wasn't, I guess, I always say foundation and rooted where my mom had me in theater when I was very young. I took a dance class and tap. But if I didn't have that foundation, I really could have been paralyzed by my fear. Paralyzed, and missed my blessing. Missed my blessing. Why? Because it's like, if you never can remove yourself, and that's what I had to do. Because in a certain sense, I was blocking my blessing. Because God doesn't bring us mixed blessings, He just brings us blessings. So I needed to stand in that blessing and sort of own that. So I would pray about it and ask God to just give me strength and give me courage to get through it. And each day, there was no script. We would get like the recipes. They come in our home for 2 weeks. And I just talk in front of the camera just like I'm doing now. So today we're going to make a watermelon sorbet. Who remembers watermelon? When you spit seeds, who can spit seeds the furthest? Then they were like, oh gosh, she done took us back 500 years. Then the civil rights people start talking about, you know, black buck and watermelon, you can't talk about that. I said, then you spit seeds? I mean, that's like a normal thing. So it's so many things when you start talking openly that I learned, and I thank God for editing. Because I didn't know saying certain things like, that's chinky. Then it was like Asian people would disown you. You know, you just think the way you talk, that it doesn't bother anybody, which goes to also show you that words really hurt and they make a difference. So we have to be mindful of how we say things because we don't want to offend anyone, and we don't do it purposefully, I believe. It's just kind of what you say and what you're accustomed to. It's a cultural thing. So it's very different now. So I'm going to shorten that whole story. As you see, the show went on for 7 years, did its thing, and then after that, when the show kind of came to an end, Follow Production was also in the process of getting the Chew on ABC. So there was not really a plan B for Pat and Gina. So then I knew then that was my escape. I said, oh, that was a little window. Now you can see the little window in the bars like this, like, oh, I'm getting ready to squeeze through here and get out of this situation. So that's what I did. So with doing that, very disappointing to a lot of people because I did not know that so many people took our lives on, and the love that we shared, they wanted that love. So I became like a martyr because I was the one that wanted to not be on TV. I was the one that didn't really want that life. And it looked like it was very easy for me, but nobody knew deep down inside I had this tremendous fear and anxiety. And I was sick all the time, trying to please people and not thinking about pleasing myself. So that's why it's also important that when you make decisions in life, you have to think about them long term. how you truly feel about it. Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for someone else? It's really okay to put yourself first. That's called self-care. We talk about self-care, we talk about branches of love, gentleness, kindness, things like that that kind of resonate in your heart to make you feel good. I mean, I know we all want to be successful and have money, but you have to really think about what is success to you. Success to some is maybe a Mercedes, a bad house, and that, but success for some people is just peace and enough space to just exist in and not need all of that. And be just as comfortable and just as in your own world. I call my cave Gina's cave because that's my free space and that's where I love to be. So I said all of that to say this. So I went through all of that. I had to take a minute and pull myself back because I had been so unhappy that I didn't even know how to be happy anymore. So as I kind of took myself out of the equation, and I guess I want to say as I gathered myself together and just kind of got out of the spotlight, because you live your life out loud so much, no matter where you go. And I never forget, I was just walking, and this lady jumped out some fur coats. She said, "You're just a blessing to us all." I was like, "No, I'm not, lady." But people really take on your spirit and your life. So then you feel like you become responsible for your happiness and your happiness. But then when do I become responsible for my happiness? So that's sort of I call it the kind of demon of that industry. Because people think when you're on TV that everything is just glitter and glamour. You do have excess of everything. I mean, and if you're not ready for those excesses, that can be another issue for you. Or if you have like child stars, parents that sort of live through their children. So we're adults, but my daughters weren't pleased with that. So I sort of sat in a seat of struggling with that because I wanted my girls to be happy. They didn't want the spotlight. They never have, and they still to this day don't. So we got out of that. I sat back a little bit. Then I had a sudden change in my life. My nephew was 43 years old, was at my house Friday, and died of a massive heart attack that Sunday. I could not even imagine that happening. To see someone and then they're just gone that Sunday. So then I got a call to go to Italy to do a dating show. So I figured, well, maybe that's God's sign that you need to get out of this place and this space and go find a man. And go to find a man, and so to roam for love. So I said, well, why not, Miss Jenna girl? You can't speak Italian. But that's okay, you got Google. So I thought. So I said, okay, well, sure, fantastic, let's go. So we all get together, and then I realized it's 4 other girls in the house. But guess who's the oldest? Me. 20, 30, 40, 50. I said, no, I'm not going to be mama hen up in here. Because I remember saying in the first episode, did I come on this trip with my children? I was looking around. But let me tell you something. That instant, when I landed in Italy, it was the most beautifying, peaceful, loving place that you could ever be. So whatever I felt or was dealing with or was going through or had been through, to me, this was sort of my reward. And I felt like, God, now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I love. However, I wasn't ready for reality TV. So you gotta remember, I came from calling TV to get Gina what she wants and keep her happy, to just let that heifer be out there. Like cameras, like it would be a camera there. Like cameras everywhere. Everywhere. I could say this to you. And a producer come around the corner and say, what you say to her? And you like, what the cat? Lady, like you really think they're crazy at that point. So reality TV is very, very different. But unfortunately, I have to say, I think reality TV is sort of taking over. What do you guys think? You like reality TV, some shows? No. What was the first reality show? Think back. What was it? No? Remember that show, Real House on MTV?
Yes.
That was actually the very, very first reality TV show. That's when they first really started exposing and kind of seeing what the site, because it's cheaper to make, there's no script, and you just let people just whatever they feel, just go at it. And they kind of needle you a little bit so you can kind of have a little drama and pit girls against each other. But see, I wasn't going to have that. They said, Gina, you can have a kumbaya moment here. I said, well, I don't feel right calling her out of her name. I'm not going to do that. I'm 50-something years old. 50 and some change. I have daughters who probably watching this TV show and other young girls that look up to me. So I never wanted to present that image. So once again, you're thrust in the world, and now someone wants to change who you really are. So let me tell you something, in TV, or any kind of industry, I say any kind, or any kind of job, I think there is something of your soul you would have to sell. Something. It is your place and your time to figure out how much of your soul do you want to sell. Now, some people want to sell everything. Oh, you had a question?
My question.
Or did you want to just say your soul? I didn't know which one. Go ahead.
I'm thinking that you stayed with the food show for 7 years.
7 years.
What part of your soul did you have to give up for that length of time? And
Oh.
what kept you there?
I would say that part of my soul was just almost creating another personality in my mind, where I was Gina, the TV persona, and then I had to try to make sure I would still do my own laundry. I would still try to get my girls to cheerleading. I would go grocery shopping, because to me, that was what the old Gina knew. That kept me normal and kept me humble. You know, just the humility of it all. You know, it was very important for me to not have maids, and you could have had all of that. You could have maids, you could have anything you want in this life, in excess. It is insane. And I thank God that my mother gave me a great foundation to lean on and to rely upon, so I could keep myself sane and keep myself in place. And also, I kept my daughters stayed in the main front of my mind. I wanted them to still see a good mother, still understand that this is a job we had to do, or chose to do, because this blessing. I mean, think about it. You know, people try out and audition for shows, and then you just randomly get a TV show one day, and it is the highest rated show ever on a network. That is unheard of. So I know that in the midst of all of that, there is a blessing in there. It is. And maybe God wanted my name to be known to go out and come out and talk to you guys, and go out and minister to other people, and go out and talk to other classes, go on talk shows, go to different ministry conferences, you know, go out and do, I still talk about healthy food because I lost weight, talk about being good to the body, how to be your best self. So I think God arranged a platform for me to truly do his assignment, and that is what keeps me sane. Got it?
I got it, but there's
It's still-
something missing. 7 years.
Tell
You
me.
could have done it 1 year or 2.
No. Oh, no. You don't get to choose, sweetheart.
Okay.
Once you sign a contract, it's like a 5-year
Then
contract.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
so you have contractual obligations that you have to commit to. And once you sign your name, can you pay back the money? More than likely no.
Okay,
So then
that's
now
it.
you're there. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that click for you a little better?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, because and anything that you do, if you don't sign, you're gonna sign something. And that's what I mean. When you come into class, you decide to enroll in school, you sign to make a student loan or have whatever, and you have to commit to that, and you want to graduate and do well. So you can pay that back or be that successful doctor, nurse, or whatever it is that you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Legalities. Okay.
Yeah, the legalities of it all, and then just ownership and the accountability. I mean, I believe in a person only has their name. That's all you have. That's my word.
That's
I mean, if
right.
I give you that, I have to honor that. And that's just the way it is. So even if just when I cut my finger and was hurt, I still had to go through the motion of performing. Because it doesn't really matter. They don't care if you cut your head off. You better find a way to talk about that recipe. It's just what it is. It really is just what it is. And that's why you see so many women like getting these butts and blowing, you know, trying to change themselves. And I guess I have to let's just use the Kardashians for instance. That show started with Kim. Kim brought her whole family in. And I look at Kim now. She has 2 kids. 3. Girl, you better keep her 3 kids. Kanye, her husband, has everything. She probably has more money than Kanye. They are mega stars. But when does it become enough? And then they get mad when the paparazzi follows them forever, but yet this is the life you created. So you can't turn it on and then turn it off. So you have to find a happy medium with it. And you have to say no to some things. And it's okay to say no. People won't stop liking you because you said no. People didn't stop liking me because I stepped out the spotlight for 5 years and came back. I still had 400,000 followers. I still had all of that. Really followers. That's just really insane to me. That you would have that, followers of people who just want to be in your world and talk to you.
What part of that world rubbed off on you and you can't get rid of it?
That's a good question. What part of that word rubbed off today? Probably the living out loud part. You know, you live your life out loud. Even if I go out now, if I leave here and say, I got to stop and go out and get me a cocktail, somebody's going to count my drinks. And I never forget, Country Anthony told me, never have you just have a drink and the bartender never comes back and move the glasses. So then you're automatic. Someone takes a picture. Oh, she's an alcoholic. She was at the club, huh? She was balling now. She got liquor everywhere. So she always say, no, before you take a picture, clear this out. And if you never take a photo with a drink, you always sit behind your back and smile. So it's just little tricks that you learn because people will label you. But you have to know who you are as yourself. You can't let anyone tell you who you are. You have to know and believe who you are in your spirit and your very soul, the very essence of you, whether anybody likes it or not. If you love yourself, there you have it. You love yourself, you have that peace, and you can have success. You'll sell a little bit. For me, I was lucky enough just to sell a little bit, but not without public scrutiny, being judged, looked at differently. If I gain a pound, it's sitting right there. You know, especially now that I'm 52, oh, her hair is too blonde, or she looks like she's young, or she's trying to be. It's okay. People are going to talk about you regardless. They talked about Jesus. Who cares? You have to just say, who cares? Who cares? Because what? I'm happy. I'm doing what I want to do. My girls are good. I got my female cave. I got my life back to a certain degree. But you know what? Now I enjoy it because I get to do it on my terms. I don't have to talk about food all the time. I can talk to you guys. I can come hang out. I can laugh. I can joke. Don't take me so serious. I'm just a girl just like you. I cry. I pinch. I scream. I drink every now and then. I create recipes. I produce shows. I'm moving around. You know. So now that opportunity allowed me to now become executive producer of another show on Magic Johnson Station. So you got to create those opportunities. So you can take this show, and it may be a little bad and you don't like it, but how can I find the good in that situation? Didn't necessarily love being on reality TV, but it brought me back to the forefront. So now I can make some decisions that I normally didn't have a voice for. So you got to take that maybe bad or sometimes uncomfortable situation and turn it around for your good. That's what you have to do. Any other questions?
So you went through the fire and you came out as pure gold.
Yeah, and with the Italian, you got me an Italian man too. Keep
Aren't we
watching.
going to Italy?
Not that keep watching.
Hey,
Yes,
aren't we
ma'am.
going to Italy?
I went to the wrong part of Italy, because I didn't come back with one, but.
Well,
We're
the
going
wrong
to
part.
Wait, wasn't the food and everything amazing though?
It is so amazing,
It
and
is.
the lifestyle, like, I know exactly what you said when you said you walked off the plane and felt the atmosphere, the just coming down, yes.
Because
I
they have
totally-
aperitivos where it shuts down at 5
It
o'clock.
does.
At 5 o'clock, it's like now y'all could be at a happy hour drinking, kiki la la. These notebooks will be put away, and everybody's just laughing and having a good time.
And you
Nobody's
have-
thinking about stress.
And you have dinner for 2.5 hours.
And what's the first thing they bring you out before they bring you water?
Wine.
Prosecco.
Prosecco,
Dang, but
yeah.
you had the water was like, I said, is there water in this place? Can I just get a bottle of water? Plenty of Prosecco, but can I just get some water? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Water is
Yeah.
like no big deal there. It's all Prosecco. And it's really funny, but I do want to go back, not with cameras, just go back and just truly, because I'm sure I missed the essence of a lot of things because there was a full crew everywhere you went, to mics, everything, every day. And I found that some men were not comfortable with that, some were. You mean, you have people all the time trying to get their 15 minutes. It always is. But those girls in the house, I had a phone call with them. I said, let me explain to you guys something. I am Gina Neely. I've been in this crazy world for 7 years. Do not try to get 15 minutes off my back, because you are not like the girl you see. So I need all y'all to just stop and let's all just get along and play fair. And everything will be fantastic. So now we're all good.
How'd that work out for you?
Was Neely your last name before or after you married?
It's Neely is my married name. Urban is my maiden name. And I'm thinking about just want to just Gina actually. I hashtag everything just Gina because it's just me. I'm just Gina at the end of the day. I'm not Gina Neely, the wife, the mother, the kid, this. I'm not her. I'm just Gina. I'm just a regular person. And that's so important for people to understand. You can come up to me and talk to me and share with me. I'm just Gina. We can have a girl conversation. We can have a kiki. We can talk. We can have drinks. We can do all of that. I make it dinner. We can laugh and play. Stop putting people on pedestals. You know what the one word I struggle with the most in this industry? What would y'all think that is? The one word I struggle with the most. Still to this day, I struggle with that. What's that one word? Anybody? Not the same ones. Anybody? Y'all wanna know what that word is?
Would you give us the first alphabet?
Uh-huh.
Can you give us the first alphabet?
The first letter is C.
Cam?
No?
Celebrity.
Well, we'll let the kids get it. It is celebrity. I hate that word with a thorn. Because what is a celebrity? What is a celebrity other than a public figure? You don't say celebrity. I hate when people say celebrity chef, celebrity entertainer. She's a spokesperson. She's an ambassador. Celebrity. But at the end of the day, this girl told me, she said, Gina, you can fight it all you want, but you are a celebrity. I said, no, I'm not. That's my job. That's what I go do when I go do my job. When I come back, I just look like crazy like everybody else. Hair, no makeup, hair all over my head, and just crazy. But because I think celebrity is not always affirmed with something good. And I like to be connected to something good. When you think of celebrity, it's always like a little negative connotation attached to it. I think that's the part that I'm finding out now as I grow and evaluate my life. I think it's that word itself that just kind of has that negative spin to it that I don't like. So I'm getting better with that. When people say, I don't usually stop, I just keep going. And then they come tap me. And I never forget when I first started, this girl was running toward me. Oh my God, when she started running, I started running. I said, what you doing? She said, I'm running toward you. I said, well, girl, you ain't got to run. She said, but I love you. Oh my God, you answer my email. I was like, okay, but don't run. Because when you run, I got to run too. Kind of like said, so, we see one run, get a little quicker, get out. Because that's what she was charging at me. So you have to be careful because now everybody doesn't play fair. People kill celebrities. People, I've been stalked twice. That's not a great feeling. I mean, on a book tour with my husband, ex-husband, how do you stalk somebody with a man? That's kind of serious. You mean that about your love thing, right? So then they started boxing you in and having security people, but I don't really feel comfortable rolling with an entourage. I may have my girlfriend Kim, I may have another friend, but I don't travel with 7 and 8 and 9 people and ball out and toss balls and do all that. I can get that if I need to. I can all do that and go have fun, but for the most part, I'm just that girl. So I do like just Gina, but that is the one word I struggle with. So, anything else? Any other questions?
What else do we have for Gina?
Yes, ma'am.
You did point out when you were in the beginning that you had your father-in-law, your brother-in-law, and your husband. What challenges as a woman?
Working in a family business.
Yes.
Well,
Did you?
It's a whole lot. You're not really liked right away because you come in trying to change things and you want things to be better. And when you are accustomed to a family that's sort of used to doing things a certain way, but because you've been in corporate America, things have changed and have transcended. So they, I think, felt like I wanted to come in and take over.
Yeah.
So it was very important for me. When I didn't even wait tables. Like, I wanted my employees to see if I asked you to mop the floor, I will mop the floor. So they saw me mop the floor, they saw me wait tables, and I would tell them all the time, I'm gonna show y'all how to make money in here. You gotta open that shirt up a little bit for your hair. Would you like some more sweet tea, sir? And smile, and it was like, where you getting all tip money? Because it takes personality.
Yeah.
You have to have personality. You have to be warm and loving to people. People don't come out to eat and spend money to be mistreated. They just want to be acknowledged and loved and have a good time. I ain't asking you to just bend over backwards, but if I want a refill, I should have to kill you for the refill. Girl, can I get some water? Lady, hey lady, can I get some water? No, they just want the attention of the service. And when you are in that industry, you are providing a service. So you need to have a servitude kind of spirit. So that makes people come back, you grow your business, they get to know you, and you kind of know what they like. And then there's an exchange, and then now you created a networking where you have this regular customer. Because I could not understand people could eat the same turkey sandwich for 5 days a week. Surely you are sick of this turkey by now. You gotta be. Well, I come in to see you because you cuss and have a good time. Let me tell you what my boss did today. And I sit down and have a drink, glass of tea with them, and we talk about their day. So people just really, when they come out to dinner or come out and visit with any of you, they're trying to leave their world and have a minute of peace and relaxation. So when you work with the public and you're out in the public, and even think about how you treat people. People in service sometimes have a way of feeling like they think they can just run over me. But it never hurts and it doesn't cost a thing to just be kind and say thank you and please. It goes so much further. And besides, you're making your food, so you really want to be careful with that. Yes. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to culinary school?
I did not go to culinary school. I learned how to cook at my great-great-grandmother's knee. She told me stories all the time, and I would just watch her sprinkle stuff. So a lot of the dishes were actually family-oriented recipes. Yeah, I never had any indication to go to culinary school. I cook, when I would cook, I would be very, very quiet because that was my way of playing my day back in my head. Like what I could have done different. That was kind of my quiet time.
Yes.
Like the girls would be at the island doing their homework, and I'd just be kind of cooking. But that's why it was so hard initially to sort of just talk openly like this to a group of people or just to the camera. Because I was so used to just doing and just kind of in my own world. But it was actually a good lesson for me. So now I can do this at ease. I didn't prepare for this. I figured y'all would ask me some questions and just look at me, but I didn't know y'all was just gonna be just looking at me like I was crazy. I think I had a yellow smell about a cutie back there, but how old are you, baby?
25.
It's Eduardo.
Too young.
Eduardo.
She said,
That's his name, Eduardo.
El Rato?
He's from
Eduardo.
Ecuador.
Oh, Ecuador.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got an accent, Gina, watch out.
Oh, let me know when a man with an accent. Any other questions, Council President? Any other questions?
Anything else for Gina?
Yes,
One more.
ma'am.
Like you're an author, and
Yes, best 3 books, 100
you
New
like
York Times
to,
bestseller.
I'm assuming you like to read. Who are some of the, what authors do you like to read?
Oh God, I love this book called Gentle Woman. It's by Emeril Lagasse. I would recommend most women to read that book. He really talks about women understanding their worth and what they bring to the table. It's a really, really good book. And the other one I like, I can't think of the author, it's called You're a Badass and You Don't Know It. It's a yellow book, it's a paperback book. I still believe in the paperback books. I don't really like to look at Kindles and stuff. I like to highlight high points and stuff like that.
High
I'm
five
old
from
school.
here.
Yeah.
High five from here.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, I'm a big fiction. I like Victorian fiction, English.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, we all have different tastes, and that's what makes the world a great place. You can share with me, I can share with you. Glass of wine, maybe?
Glass of wine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I'm 21, I can come too.
You just turned 21, didn't you?
I'm 22.
I knew it, because my daughter couldn't wait to turn 21. I said, you post another pic on Instagram with a glass of wine, I'm going to come up there and kill you. Everything you saw, she was like, happy hour, sangria, margarita. I was like, girl, they're going to think you're alcoholic. Stop it. And she makes the absolute best margaritas you would ever have. She has her own recipe. We call ourselves mixologists. We compete against each other on making cocktails, me and my girls. So it's pretty funny how we kind of evolved. Like from the whole thing of not really liking it, but now seeing how fun it can be and finding the joy in it. Because at the end of the day, it is joy. Food has a way of feeding the soul. You know, we eat when we're sad, we eat when we're happy. But when you eat good food, we cook, and our parents cook it because we could go, and there was a big pot of homemade chicken noodle soup.
Right.
Because they had a way of warming us and making us feel good. So I say soul food. Soul food is not a type of food. It's a food that feeds the soul, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel loved, that makes you feel safe. And that is really what soul food is. Don't let anybody tell you it's anything different. All right, you guys, anything else?
Let's hear it for Gina.
Yeah.